Welcome to the Get Fit Guy's quick and dirty tips to slim down and shape up. My name is Ben Greenfield, and I'm the Get Fit Guy. I've received plenty of questions about kettlebells recently. Are kettlebells good for building muscle? Can kettlebells be used for burning fat? How can you safely use kettlebells? What is a good kettlebell workout? Well, today's episode will tell you everything you need to know about kettlebells, from the fact that they are not actually a cooking or meal preparation device, to the fact that they're actually quite good at getting you fit fast if you use them properly. First, let's talk about what a kettlebell actually is. A kettlebell is a cast iron weight that looks like a cannonball with a handle. Originally, it was a tool used by Russian strongmen for training and competition, but now multicolored vinyl-coated kettlebells are becoming a popular fitness device that you can find at many gyms. Kettlebell sizes range from 4 pounds up to about 175 pounds, but because a kettlebell is shaped differently than a dumbbell, a 4-pound kettlebell can actually feel a bit heavy and even awkward. This is because the kettlebell's center of mass is extended farther out from your body compared to a dumbbell, so it can be tougher to handle and maneuver, which is one reason why kettlebells can be so effective at improving your strength, your balance, and your explosiveness. In most situations, kettlebells are used for increasing grip strength or for performing specific movements that are designed to build strength and endurance in your lower back, legs, or shoulders. These movements include full body exercises that I'll link to in the show notes, like the swing, the snatch, and the clean and jerk. Now, because they handle so much differently than a dumbbell, you can easily hurt a body part, particularly your wrist, shoulder, or lower back, if you don't use a kettlebell properly. Trust me, you don't want to learn the hard way. The first time I hoisted a kettlebell overhead, I tried to push it up just like a dumbbell and felt as though my wrist was going to snap. I had a sore arm for the next couple days. So here's how to lift a kettlebell a bit more safely. First, for nearly every kettlebell exercise you do, you should keep your feet planted and your weight on your heels. This will ensure that your body is forming a strong foundation to lift and move the kettlebell. Next, you should never lift a kettlebell directly over your head. Compared to a dumbbell or barbell, it's much easier for your grip to slip or for you to drop the weight, and the last thing you want is a cannonball on your skull. Finally, just like any exercise, you need to protect your low back when you're using a kettlebell. Whenever you're picking a kettlebell off the ground or swinging it up in the air, you should never slouch your lower back. Instead, the power and force for all kettlebell movements should be generated by your hip and your legs. While there are many exercises you can do with a kettlebell, the most popular exercise is a kettlebell swing. To perform this motion, you basically do 3 things. First, spread your feet shoulder-width apart and lean forward while holding onto the kettlebell with 2 hands and allowing it to hang down between your legs. Next, keeping your feet planted, push off the ground and allow the momentum from your legs to begin to swing that kettlebell up in an arc as you keep your arms relatively straight. Finally, thrust your hips forward as you continue to swing that kettlebell up to about the level of your upper shoulders or lower head, and then simply reverse that motion to be back in the ready position for the next swing repetition. Now, kettlebells are not quite as easy to use as many other gym devices, and slightly more dangerous, so be sure to ask at your local gym if there's a personal trainer or a class that specifically specializes in kettlebell instruction. And if you want to begin the learning process at home, you could order light kettlebells from a website like Perform Better, and I'll put a link to that in the show notes. Or you could use a couple good resources for learning more about kettlebells, and I'll also put links to these in the show notes. The kettlebell instructional DVDs from Perform Better, or a kettlebell fat burning program. Now, believe it or not, with that single exercise, the swing that I just described, you can perform a workout that builds lean muscle and burns fat. Here's a good kettlebell workout, and if you perform just 3 to 5 rounds of this workout, you'll feel a full body burn and develop both strength and cardiovascular endurance. First, warm up for 5 to 10 minutes. Next, do 10 kettlebell swings with just your right hand. Perform 30 seconds of cardio as hard as you can. Jumping rope works well for this, or you can hop on a nearby stationary bike, do jumping jacks, or hop or step on and off a bench. Next, do 10 kettlebell swings with your left hand. Then, do the 30 seconds of hard cardio again. Finally, perform 10 push-ups, followed by 10 pull-ups or pull-downs, rest for a minute, and then go back to step 1, where you do 10 kettlebell swings with the right hand, 30 seconds of cardio, 10 with the left hand, 30 seconds of cardio, 10 push-ups, 10 pull-ups or pull-downs, rest, and go back again. That is a great kettlebell workout that will both build lean muscle and burn fat, and only requires you to learn initially one kettlebell exercise. So if you have more questions about kettlebells, just share them in the comments over in the show notes at getfitguy.quickanddirtytips.com, or go to the Get Fit Guy Facebook page at facebook.com/getfitguy, where we always have some really good and interesting conversations going on about fitness topics just like this. And until next time, what are you waiting for? Go get fit.